Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat the like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW book collection part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code SANDMAN to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1 are Dr. Calhoun's mouse utopia experiments, the reason why humans are also no longer reproducing sufficiently. Once you give men and mice everything they need to survive without having to work for it, then they stop caring about reproduction. Or just about everything else as well besides basic hedonism. I would reproduce as a single father using surrogates right now, but my health prevents me from doing so and not money. The goal for now is if people want my millions when I'm gone, they'll have to raise my unborn child, which I'll prepare as a bunch of embryos in a freezer somewhere. Up next, here's the absolute level of stupidity in Canada recently. Crown Royal moved their bottling plant to America from Canada, and Doug Ford, Rob Ford's brother, who's also the premier, decided he's going to destroy all the booze the province of Ontario has already bought from Crown Royal. Meanwhile, the Great Gazoo schools him by telling him the Crown Royal is still aged and distilled in Canada. What's he going to do next? Dump all the maple syrup because Aunt Jemima is American. He's also a rhino or Republican in name only. Number 3, here's a survey showing how Gavin Newsom is favored to win the 2028 presidential race by 8 points over J.D. Vance. Many Americans don't believe this, but it's quite possible given how Justin Skippy Trudeau's party won again after literally wrecking the country financially. Then again, I hope I'm wrong, and according to predictions markets, they all have J.D. Vance winning right now, and those are usually pretty accurate. Moving on, Japan only has 6 shooting deaths last year in a country of over 120 million people. Well, there goes the excuse that video games lead to more violence. Gaming culture's massive over there. Maybe the real reason boomstick fatalities are so low is because people over there enjoy an overabundance of tentacle corn. But we all know the real reason, and it's because of a lack of diversity. And people are safe in the streets over there. Number 5, do you think that Britain is heading towards ethnic civil war? Yes, eventually. But technically that's not a civil war. That would imply that it's countrymen against countrymen. It's going to be the original settlers versus everybody else when it finally happens. As far as I'm concerned, Britain is already in a civil war and most people just don't know it yet, or are in denial thinking that people coming to replace them won't actually try and end them one day. Up next, the truth is that the majority of women out there are average or mid without fake up, or even worse than mid, just plain ugly. Funny enough, the girl on the top looks better without all the makeup around her eyes, and she would look even better if she took that ridiculous nose ring out. If you really want to see how plain and boring most women look without it, then just visit an Amish community. As for these ones, the one in the middle is absolutely brutal. Number 7, this teacher has been teaching grade 6 boys for 14 years now, and he's noticing that the gap between the genders is growing every year with academics and maturity. Where's this teacher been for the last 10 to 15 years where boys have been demonized and told they are toxic and good for nothing, having feminists try and destroy their self-esteem? It seems the only way to elevate women to positions of status and power is to lower men to be beneath them. Moving on, here's this landlord waiting for a single mother of 4 to stop crying, so he can tell her that he's increasing the rent. Many such cases, and it's usually the woman's ex or some simp out there that ends up paying the rent increase. That's what she gets for making poor life choices. Maybe this guy needs to do like they do in Canada where women can exchange friends with benefits for a roof over their heads. But it's probably just cheaper for him to pay working girls. Number 11, this should be a question in Real Family Feud to name something that triggers the Democrats. How about the truth or facts and statistics which they can't win an argument against? To be honest though, it'd be a lot easier to just list the things that don't trigger them. Other things that are possibly triggering include work, patriotism, reality, and of course the one thing that always triggers them all: Donald Trump. Up next, why is it that 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the homicides? As for Ms. Zarutka here, she should have realized that parts of America were actually more dangerous for her than the front lines of Ukraine. But I think that that number is much higher because in Tennessee and Texas, among other places, many of the black offenders are labeled as whites. Low IQ alone doesn't account for the increased violence. I think it's also caused by too much testosterone. Number 11, this is how it's done. This guy's neighbor caught his girlfriend cheating, so he waited for her to go away. And then when she did, he gave away all her stuff to Goodwill and moved into a new apartment while breaking the lease. She had no clue. When she finally found out what happened, she called the guy she cheated with to stay with him, and he said, "Hell's no." Revenge is best served cold, according to an old Klingon proverb. And he did it to her while she was pregnant, too. Just kidding. Moving on, remember, guys, that the man who sleeps in peace has either no debts or no wife, or neither of them at the same time. That's what you call peace maxing. I'm in both positions, but I have skin pain while I sleep lately. That's been the only thing disturbing my sleep. But just imagine the lack of peace from two women marrying each other. I've seen and heard women like this before, and it's like two people playing pickleball with pure negative energy that never stops bouncing back and forth. Also, fur babies are terrible for your sleep. Number 13 Pokemani posted that her brother got married, and then she showed a bunch of pictures of herself like this one. Her brother is the one getting married, but to me it looks like getting more attention for herself is more important. They never seem to waste a good chance to get attention, now do they? This once again proves that this is how women take pictures of objects and events. She could have proven us wrong with the picture of her and her brother, though. Up next, a new poll says that Conor McGregor has a good chance of winning the Irish election, with 60% of people responding to a poll saying that they'll vote for him. I wish I shared this optimism, but in reality he has somewhere between 2 and 5% chance of winning. Besides, in the West, there are no free and open elections. There are only selections. The vast majority of candidates are picked by the elites to rule. Only fools believe in open and free elections. Number 15, some people say that Melania Trump disrespected Bill Gates when she looked at him like this. I don't think so, but this guy deserves to be disrespected. He's up there with Stephen King and Mark Hamill for being weasels. This guy's trying to corner the food market and force people to take vaccines that do God knows what to them. Even his wife left him, and he was one of the wealthiest men in the world. Don't get me started on Epstein's Island. I'm surprised she's even sitting next to him. Moving on, I thought I'd pipe in on that Karen at the Phillies game. It's weak men that capitulate to Karens that got us in this mess. The man got the home run ball fair and square for his son, and then the Karen thought it belonged to her because she saw it first. She demanded that he give it to her, which she did, and then the crowd turned on her. And now she can't even go out in public without people tormenting her. Good. Women like this can't even handle seeing a kid be happy. Number 17, apparently, here's your yearly reminder that Cardi B used to drug and rob men, but nobody cares. And Reina says that she wishes more women would follow in her footsteps. If a man had done this, he'd be thrown in jail for at least 20 years. It's another case of rules for thee, but not for me. Women only get away with things like this because men are too weak to correct them, and other women want the same advantages over men. Up next, every day 34 to 40 Indians are ended by train-related accidents, or 27,000 a year. If you think that's bad, then another 30,000 more people die on the trains themselves from suffocation and stampedes to get onto them and off them. Imagine being in a country where your natural predator is a train. If only there was a way to identify the hunting grounds of the mighty train. But it's a stealthy predator that leaves no tracks. LOL. Number 19, a West Belfast man admits to making and possessing child porn. His name is Mohammed, and he's just as British as those that were born in the country hundreds of years ago. Most people skimming the headlines would probably assume that he's just from the Caucasian persuasion and a pervert, and not thinking that he's a foreign-born man. How much you want to bet that he's going to go to jail in a year or two, and then run off to continue his extra-testicular activities? Moving on, this woman says that her fiancé is calling off their wedding because of her past. That she was going through her hoe phase and smashed 3 guys at the same time. Now she regrets telling him and says that she should have just lied about it. Isn't that standard thought operating procedure? To not admit or talk about their infidelities, or notch counts. Remember, guys, there is no hoe phase. There's only hoe and not a hoe. This guy's lucky he dodged a massive bullet. Number 21, apparently every race on Earth has a third world country except for white folks. I would also say that people from Northeast Asian countries like China, Japan, Taiwan, and Korea also don't have a third world country either. North Korea doesn't really count because it's technically a second world country. Besides those 2 groups, yes, everyone else has third world countries, and usually many of them. As for America, if you live in West Virginia, being a third world country might just be a reality for you. Up next, this woman was jailed for life in Dubai because she was found carrying an illicit substance. This probably never would have happened if she was properly registered as a porta potty. Life sentences in Dubai are only handed out for drug trafficking, murder, and exploitation of children. She was caught dealing cocaine and she didn't mean to do it, of course. It was an accident, of course. In the West, she'd be free after a few years. In Dubai, they hold women accountable, don't you know? Number 23, what the hell is Madonna's boyfriend thinking? He's probably grateful that she's paying his child support and living expenses for his entire extended family. Maybe his motto is that old cooch is better than no cooch. The better question is, what was she thinking? I'm not sure any of us actually want to know the answer to that. In reality, he's going to be financially set for life, but first he's got to perform fellatio on a famous grandma for a few more years. Moving on, Canada's cooked. Inflation is now running hotter than Zimbabwe with regards to some foods. Ground beef is up 25% in only a year. A chef here said it was because of climate change. In reality, our new prime minister is spending money like a drunken sailor, and the government has no official budget, so he just created a carbon tax for companies that sell things like food, and those companies are just passing the cost down to consumers. Inflation for food is well over 10% here. Number 25 and the last one, you just know they'll vandalize the mural on the right when it's finally put up. Just watch BLM go crazy as the right starts putting up murals of Charlie Kirk and Arena here. Maybe the right can go around toppling the statues of Marx and other communist heroes as well. Apparently, this Banksy-esque image is already out there making the rounds. The only thing that's missing are a few spats of red paint to complete the look. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal subscribe star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.